I think people are suffering for want of the sacred. I think that suffering is often not articulated. I think it's often inchoated. I think it's often displaced. I think it's displaced into dangerous ways into the political arena, into popular entertainment, into various forms of personal and collective idolatry and addiction. Einstein refused the label of atheist, and he also refused to believe in any kind of personal God. What does that leave for us that such a brilliant mind refused the two categories that seem to dominate the discussion about God, either atheism or a full-blown personal theism? He is often quoted and misquoted around ideas about God and spirituality and the religious impulse and the relationship to the mysterious. Einstein was a devoted follower of Spinoza. Spinoza is at the very beginning of the scientific revolution, right beside Descartes and right near Leibniz and other people. And he's participating in that revolution. He's contributing into it. And he's also one of the last people to write philosophy in the ancient style, to try and preserve within the scientific worldview the cultivation of wisdom and what he called the blessed life. And we should look deeply into what Spinoza has to say to us about the possibility of integrating science and spirituality and addressing the meaning crisis. The profound non-theism, which is this position between atheism and personalistic theism, I think it is the best stance, orientation to the sacred, because it gives us a relatively thin description of God. It removes the temptation to think of God as a thing or a substance, idolatry. So we have this open-ended orientation, yet it calls us to deep transcendence and transformation. This is a calling towards an ultimate reality that can ultimately orient us and ultimately afford our transcendence. So my argument is, if we are trying to situate ourselves in the deep evolution of human spirituality, especially in response to the sacred, this is a position that needs to be very carefully considered. A version of relating to the ultimate in a fashion that is simultaneously sacred and consistent with science. And that's what I want to address in Einstein and Spinoza's God.